it's the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to another FlossTube video. And today I've got 4 projects to show you, which is a really nice progress for me because I'm recording it on Saturday morning, which is at least a day, sometimes even 2 days before I normally record my videos, to sum up the period of time when I was working on things. But my mom is coming to visit. She'll stay for a few days and I won't really have time to record, but also just not really where to record as well. So 4 projects in a shorter time, it's really good. Maybe not the most of progress in each project, but still a progress is being done, and yeah, it's going pretty well. So let's start with Miranda. There it is. So with Miranda, I focused on the page here, and I got almost to the end of the page. This, if I can tell, this will be the last square of the first row of the new page. So I've worked a few hundred stitches here. Yeah. Mostly similar colors and shades to what I've had in this area, so nothing really exciting happening at the moment. But still, there's progress being made. I am, however, debating with myself whether I want to go like I used to for a while and do row by row kind of thing, or just because this margin is really narrow, I hadn't really thought about leaving a wider margin. So it's quite uncomfortable with my Q-snap to just have only this little fabric on the Q-snap frame. Maybe I should do this first column of squares while I have this little fabric and have this done and then go row by row. So I'm still debating how I want to proceed with this. On the one hand, it will be a really good idea because I should get rid of some of those threads that I'm parking, but they just keep being long, and then they keep tangling. So it might be a good idea to actually do it, not only to make it more comfortable for me, but also just to get rid of those threads. So that's something to think about in the next few weeks. So far, there is some progress. I've got almost first row of the new page done. But yeah, still waiting until some coloring shapes change. So that's Miranda. Then I worked on Mini Marvellous Garden that I haven't touched for a while. And in here I have also been doing the first row of a new page. I think it finishes here in this square, but as you can see, I haven't filled all the squares yet. In those 2 last squares, there are quite a few confetti stitches, but also there are colors that I have parked in the second row, for example, that are like for a stitch or 2 in those rows, and then they continue here. So I will probably leave the first row as is, move on to the second, and then once I finish the stitches in a given color, I'll go back here. I did also complete a few stitches in this area because there were some occasions like that. where I could use the color here as well. So page 1 also getting some love, not as much, but some. And as you can see, this page, especially this row, because that's what I've done so far, is getting pretty colorful. This one was mostly blues, grays, beige, and this one is already getting a lot of colors. So that's getting pretty interesting. And I know that there will be the rest of the head of the peacock, the rest of the body, and I'm guessing the tail of the peacock as well. So it should be an interesting page to see. So also quite nice progress, a few hundred stitches made. Then I've also started working on the 2022 Blackwork Stitch-A-Long by Peppermint Purple. And this year there's a different layout for me, because I chose a different layout. I figured 2022, which I also want to do in the future, it was like a rectangle, and I think it was the only layout possible. Then last year's Stitch-A-Long, I made it into a square. Well, the grids kind of went into somewhat a circle, but then the total was in a square. In this one, I want to make a shape that it's like a squashed circle, I guess you could call it, when it comes to the grid sections. This year the grid sections are just rectangles, there are no squares, so that's pretty neat. I've started with putting borders around the weekly fillers, and then I realized it could be a good idea to at least do one weekly filler so that I know where the center is just easily without having to look really hard for it. Now that I've done week 1, and this is a filler actually that I did in the previous years, because some of the fillers get duplicated from year to year and reused. So I've done this one, and then I can focus on the rest of the black grid. I really want to have it done first before I start doing the fillers. You can see the pins put into the fabric. I'm using them to mark the amount of stitches I need to do in a given direction, because if I count while stitching, I'm prone to distractions. I'm pretty scatterbrained these days, so I would have to like really focus on counting the stitches. And stitching takes a while, and with a pin I can just, count the holes fast and then put the pin into the correct hole and be done with it, and then I know I need to stitch until the pin. It will get easier with more rectangles being added, because it's mostly the layout like this, so like half, it reaches to the half of this one, then the same will be here, and then this one will be like vertically. So it will get easier and easier, because I will be able to see just the layout and where it finishes just looking at other rectangles. But for now those pins are really, really useful. And yeah, the fabric is still stiff because it hasn't been used a lot, so it's quite uncomfortable to handle at the moment. But I'm pretty sure with time it will get more like fabric, really, because this one is really stiff. And then it will soften up. It should soften up. So that's the progress so far, and now I'll just be doing the grid borders to make all 52 rectangles. and I'll go to filling later on. So I probably will not finish the borders before this February ends, which means I'll be like 2 months of fillers worth behind. But then I should, catch up pretty quickly, and then I'll have long periods of wait until the month finishes and I can have all the weekly fillers on one page, as I prefer to do. So that's with the Peppermint Purple's new Stitch-A-Long. This time it's the 2022 Stitch-A-Long. It's free. You just have to sign up for either the Facebook group or to her webpage, and you can join for free. And the last project I've worked on is the Hogwarts Crest, and in here I've cleaned up page 3. I did finish this little part here. I did clean up page 2 as well. The only thing left from page 2 is this little row here. This white gap that you can see. Those are the only stitches from page 2 that I haven't done yet. The rest is page 4 left, and a bit of page 3 as well, this bottom part there. And then the back stitching, but it will happen later. So I have started doing the border here for the crest itself, and also I'm now focusing on the detailing in here, like similar to this thing. They're quite symmetrical. Then I might go for the ribbon, or I might move into and I think I'll do it like this. I think I'll work on the Ravenclaw part for a while before going back to the ribbon, just because it will make things interesting. So yeah, this is what it looks like, and I'm really happy with working on it. I mean, and this is where I wish I had a few more days to work on, because here I would have made much bigger progress. I think what I did here was about 100 stitches, so possibly the lowest amount of stitches I've made in all the projects in this time. And were I to have more time this week, I would have worked more. I mean, I will work more this week. It's just that I can't show it to you yet because I haven't done it, and I need to record the video first. Like at this time. So that's the progress for now. I hope to make a bigger one next time. I haven't missed the Virgo, so I might not go back to it next time as well. I think I need a little longer vacation from it. But we'll see what I'll be working on. Probably all those 4 projects that I've shown you today, I'll also work on in the next 2 weeks. But we'll see. I'm kind of a moody person, and there are days where I really want to work. There are days when I really have to, like, maybe not force myself, but push myself hard to work. And one of the things that motivate me is that otherwise I won't have anything to show. So you better go and stitch something. But I don't always want to work on the same project just because, like, at the moment, just because I don't want to work on the Virgo, even though it's my priority piece, the one I want to finish pretty soon, but I'm not feeling it at this time, so it might still get abandoned for a while. But we'll see what the future brings. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, it's always appreciated. Leave a comment down below to just say what you like, what you didn't. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see the progress I'm making on my cross-stitching projects, but also on my crocheting and other crafts that I also show in this channel. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!